What
Yeah,
what
I don't think I've gotten any emails in the last day or
I'm checking
two
a
about
couple.
just like regatings.
Yeah.
What for some bigger brands you said? Well, I'm
Yeah.
curious to know, are there any other big brands that people have seen a lot of those emails go out about?
So I'm checking emails right now. Okay, Keepa charts are not showing. Let's see.
What is it for Nike? You said
Nike, yeah, a couple big brands, yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna be checking obviously all the time, see if I get any emails too, and everything.
And while you're looking at that, good question here. So somebody said, could you give me a simple framework for reaching out to brands for wholesale accounts? How should my proposition, my basically my value prop, my website, how should that look? What all should I have ready? So really the value proposition is simple, right? Because what we're trying to do is just get our foot in the door with these brands. We just want to buy at wholesale prices. So when you call them up, you're just saying, hey, my name's so and so. I own a retail business. I'm located in this city and we're looking to buy some of your products for resale. Could I talk to somebody in sales about opening a wholesale account? It's pretty much that simple. And then as far as what the website's supposed to look like, so website should just be also super simple, one pager, and it should say a couple of things, who you are and what you do, right? Just those two things. As long as they can, a supplier can click on your website, immediately know what you do. And as long as everything looks professional, then your chances are going to go way higher in landing those accounts and in being able to work with those brands.
I think the big thing that kind of, whether it's scare people away, I don't know if that's the right phrasing, or just like overcomplicate it, is like people forget that they hold the keys, they have the leverage, right?
Yep.
You are the one with the money. Salespeople want your money, right? And so anytime you talk to someone, think about that paradigm, right? It's you that has the money. It's you that is essentially holding the keys, and it has what the other person wants. And so you'll be shocked if every single salesperson you reach out to, you know what you want, you know how much you want, and the sort of price point in which you're looking for that ad. You're going to come across as super legitimate, super established of a wholesale company, and B, you're going to be a very easy person to work with, which is going to be attractive to a lot of salespeople, which is the one of the huge kind of negative perceptions Amazon sellers have earned, is that a lot of Amazon sellers aren't necessarily taking it seriously. The communication is lackluster, don't have enough money to spend, commit to an order, don't pay for it, commit to or demanding big discounts and don't end up actually placing an order, right? There's a lot of things that kind of have
Given Amazon sellers a bad name.
a hard time over the years. And those are the things that we have to really emphasize in the beginning, that you're not like those.
Right. Yeah, that's good feedback. And also too, just like you said, generally don't be a pain in the ass. Be easy to work with.
Easy to work
Respond
with.
respond quickly, text back right away. Like the little things that most other people don't do are going to give you a huge advantage.
If I see a 4-pack of shirts sold on Amazon for a good price, can I buy 1 pack and sell this 4-pack? Yes, as long as there's not like some like special, really fancy packaging. What's up, Gianni? Yeah, cool. Good to see you, fellas, man. Did we do it last week?
We did, yeah.
We did?
Yeah, y'all did. I wasn't here. I was out of town.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say,
He
like it had been a
was
little
chilling
while.
on the beach.
Yeah, I was on the beach for a little bit.
Dude, so the Sixers are playing the Heat tonight, and this one guy who used to play for the Heat, he was at the breakfast spot this morning that he would always go to. He plays for the Sixers now, but he was like, because he's playing.
I was visiting, yeah.
Oh, Martin,
awesome.
right? Something Martin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Caleb,
then
something like that.
And then Kenyon Martin Jr. was there too. Yeah.
Would it be smart to approach my value proposition as a company that offers listing opportunities? If you can do a good job, yes.
That's a good call. Yeah.
If it's something that I'm just going to throw a bunch of buzzwords at this company and hope it sticks, probably not. But if you have experience, and the cool thing is, right, there's very easy data around every single piece of that, right? If you've done any listing optimization, I would hope you would take a before and after picture listing, a picture of the listing. Right. This is what the listing looked like before. This is what the listing looked like after we work on it. This is what the sales rank was before. This is what the sales rank was after. It's a very easy case study if it's a brand, if you've done that work for a brand before. And that's obviously a pitch you can make for the next brand and the next brand. PPC, same sort of thing. How much money have you spent for other brands? How much has that paid off? Right? Did the sales rank react to that PPC? What's your return on that advertising? The same sort of thing with product. If you have experience doing any of that, I mean, it's not going to hurt you, but.
Yep. Love your informative YouTube videos. Appreciate you. Yeah. Whatever questions y'all got, you let us know. Is Keepa must have? I'd say to completely.
100%. It's really the only tool. And you could argue that SellerAmp is a must-have as well, but Keep is the only one where it's like you simply can't operate an Amazon reselling business without it. And there was a question earlier I want to touch on because I feel like it's super common. Camille said, so she's in the UK. She claims that they can't do retail arbitrage or online arbitrage in the UK market. Is that accurate? Like, do people
No, you
do?
can. No,
You can? Okay. So people do, but her second part of her question is legit. She said, well, could I set up a Amazon store in the US and send my inventory straight to a prep center? I assume she's saying if she's doing like online arbitrage in the US. So Camille, the answer is yes, 100%. I know, and I know these guys know tons of people that don't live in the US. Maybe they live in Canada, maybe they live in the UK. There's people that live in the Middle East and Asia that, of course, there's a few more hoops to jump through to set up that Amazon US account. But if you can get that account set up, you get a bank account, you get all the things you need, then 100% yes, you can do arbitrage in the US marketplace, even if you live halfway across the world. A ton of people are doing that.
Yep. You guys made it so easy. Yeah, appreciate you, Gianni. Appreciate you, man. That's what's up. That's what's up right there. If y'all saw the private chat from the streams about 2 months ago, it's a beautiful thing right there. Always frowned upon in the UK. Nah, it's not. It's not right there.
Yeah,
I know people who do awesome with the business models there. Yeah. When it doesn't sell 90 days. Yeah, I mean, probably more like 180, but like you got to be buying stuff that sells in the first place. And then like it's going to move basically because you can't really change the velocity too well. Yeah, attaboy, Garrett. Attaboy, or Corey, attaboy right there. Attaboy. Okay, good. Cool. Attaboy. Best way to get after opening to get ungated in. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of small brands that'll let you go right from the get-go. So for example, like Staffer, 32 Degrees, Athletic Works, and then storefront stock from those listings. Look at what the competitors are selling. You'll be able to find some other stuff too. Yeah. Plays here. Yep. FBM is amazing. The whole business model is absolutely so realistic to change.
I was waiting for you to click on that because I mean that's
love, man.
It's a fact too because like there's so many people that they overcomplicate FBA or they overcomplicate the shipping process, and like shipping to FBA, if it's the first time you've done it, it's intimidating. Like, not gonna lie, of course there's tools like Boxum that make it a lot easier, but in general, sending that first FBM shipment is way easier than sending that first FBA shipment, right? And the cash flow you get from FBM, especially this time of year in Q4, there's really no better time to sell on Amazon, but to do FBM, like for sure.
Yep. Yeah, especially this time of year. Any thoughts on profit first method? G-Body Benz is raised on the profit first method. Yeah.
We actually interviewed him on our podcast. One of the better.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Mike, right? Mike McCallum.
Yeah. Mike McCallum. Yep.
That's awesome.
He was such an awesome dude.
Yep. 5 Box Bandits. Yep.
And just to add my 2 cents on, and link that episode, guys, if you have it handy, because that was a really good one. And so what you like, people listening might be thinking like, well, what's profit first? So guys, it's a book by a guy named Mike Michalowicz. Go read the book. It's an easy read. I have 3 different businesses and all 3 of them run on profit first. It's basically just like the financial foundation for your business. It makes sure that you get paid, like you get your profit before you pay your expenses. Obviously, you have money left over to pay your expenses, but you're taking a little bit of money off the table for yourself automatically each month. It's a great system. It helps us make a lot more money.
Cool. What's cheaper to start with? Yeah, FBM for sure. Yeah, definitely FBM. Hola, what's up, Maria? Maria just caught her first couple sales the other day too. Low profit and high volume, or high profit and low volume? High volume and medium profit, ideally. Yeah.
And really a mix of the two. So we've sold everything in between, everything from low profit, high volume to high profit, low volume, and everything in between. So it's good to have both, right? There's nothing wrong with a product that you only sell 3, 4, 5 units per month, but you make $40, $50, or $100 profit per unit. There's also nothing wrong with those products where you're only making $1, but you're selling 20 a day or 50 a day or 100 a day, right? So have that mix. What separates a successful from an unsuccessful Amazon business owner? Gianni, I would tell you the one thing that I've seen that is just patently true, nobody can argue with this, that separates successful from unsuccessful. And it's literally just the people that stick with it, right? I've said this a million times, but you don't meet many Amazon sellers who've been in the game for 2 years or more who aren't making money, who aren't doing somewhat decent, right? Like it's pretty much impossible to grind this business every day for 2+ years and still suck at it. It's very hard, especially when you're doing things like attending these live streams and watching Miles and watching Garrett and watching me and doing all this stuff. Like it's going to be very hard to fail if you just stick with it for an extended period of time.
Yep. Yeah, just fully deactivate your Canada and Mexico and unsubscribe from NARF. I don't even know if it's still called NARF, but if it is still called NARF, take that away. Yeah. Nike cannot currently be ungated. Yeah. How can I get Home Depot invoices if they only do receipts? Yeah, you'll just use the receipts, man. So those are going to work for the purchase documentation. I just used one recently here. Good. And our buddy Chris Grant, Clear the Shelf, he has a good list of 3PLs, otherwise known as prep centers, on the on his site. What's up, Uncle Miles? Appreciate you, family. What up? Good to see you here. 973. That probably is New Jersey, so you're sales tax free in certain things.
Shaquille started I assume you're talking about Profit First, the Profit First audiobook this morning. Awesome. It's a good one, right? Listen to it a couple of times through. I read the physical book and I've read it, I think, at least twice. And every time I read it, I pick up something new. So it's good stuff.
Yeah, I have an amazing teacher. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Maria. Maria, you better come to Garrett's call tomorrow night too, though. Listen to the audiobook. Let's go.
Very super cool guy, 123. Love that name. I notice a lot of downtime while waiting for my shipments to arrive at Amazon. What should I do in the meantime? So in the meantime, right, I assume you're doing arbitrage. Keep finding more opportunities. Keep finding more products, right? And if capital's the bottleneck, if you don't have the capital to spend on more products, I'd still find them and save them in a folder or save them in a note or save them, use SellerAmp to push them to a Google Sheet. And you've got a lot of leads that you can look back on when you do have more capital or when your stuff does check in and start selling. Not every one of those leads is still going to be profitable 2, 3, 4 weeks from now, but a lot of them will be. So keep searching.
Steven, I didn't see your question, man. Let me find that. Oh, so I see all these companies advertising about given that Amazon's about to implement their Black Friday sales. Oh, good one. Okay, cool. Yeah. So the nice thing is, as an Amazon seller, if you don't control, you don't have to decrease your prices for Black Friday sales. People are going to buy stuff on Amazon even though they don't know it's a deal. And sometimes Amazon will run sales in your listings too, and you're not penalized for that. Specifically, however, right, in respect to Black Friday sales going on, that's a great time to source inventory. It's a really, really good time to source inventory. See, and why do people don't stick with it? Nah, bro, there's so many reasons to quit and there's so many reasons to just stay in your comfortable job. You know what I mean? Which I get, you know what I'm saying? Completely get it.
I'd say, well, a lot of times people don't stick with it because it's Amazon is a business where there's a lot of little headaches that pop up all the time. And it could be anything from there's an issue with Seller Central that's not letting me submit this shipment all the way to, oh, I got regated on this ASIN and now I've got to create a removal order and get rid of it some other way, right? So there's just a lot of little headaches that can add up. And a lot of times what makes somebody quit is not that big of a deal. It's just kind of a lot of headaches that have added up over the last few weeks. And they're just screw it. I don't want to keep going, even though the one thing that made them quit might have taken them 20 minutes to resolve, right? So it's just not letting the constant BS and the constant issues kind of add up and get you down. Trust me, if that were the case, everybody would have quit eventually because there's a lot of stuff to deal with, which also includes a lot of the upsides, right? It wouldn't be as good of a platform. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yep. Can you guys talk about horizontal and vertical scaling and how to balance it? Yeah. So I'd say horizontal scaling is finding more of the stuff that you're already doing. It's adjacent brands or the same brands, the same suppliers, etc. And then vertical would be buying more of the same stuff, basically. For example, is the way I kind of think about it. And horizontal is finding adjacent opportunities. Vertical is going deeper in the place you already are. So actually, now that I think about it, I was what does the vertical part of horizontal mean? Makes sense. Horizontal is going wider, vertical going deeper. Right there, yeah.
And then a wholesale business, right? So in OA or in arbitrage, going deeper might mean going deeper with that retailer that you're buying from, or going deeper into that one product, or going deeper into that one brand. And when you're doing wholesale, like I do, very similar. It just might mean going deeper with that one supplier. But in wholesale, that one supplier might carry 10, 50, 100 different brands, and you might be able to find some more brands that weren't currently on your radar that you can then start buying from that same supplier, because you've got a relationship with them, right? Or now you've gotten in a little deeper with them.
Well, and the really cool thing is, like, some suppliers, some companies have certain thresholds that you have to meet to warrant bigger discounts,
Yeah.
right? So you may put an order for 20K, but then once you hit that 20K, well, now you have 5 other products that just untapped, right? Because now you get an extra 5% off, and so that 20% or that 20,000 may parlay into 40K, which then may open up a couple other products. And so it's always Miles was talking about OA with wholesale too. It's always deeper. That leads to so much more exponential growth.
You got to get like one extra light in there, Garrett. One extra light, like one big body Benz coming.
Well, I have
in
my
front of
just
you.
shut them off. Yeah.
Oh, turn it on. Let's see what it looks like. Because I feel like you haven't been here in like the dark or with like them fully on. Turn it. I'll put on mine too. I'll match the energy.
I bought every possible deal in my small town. In Austria, there is nothing else sellable on Amazon.
Oh,
So
come on.
when you're in Austria, like, are they even, is the products even packaged in English? Like, I could see that being an issue. If you're in Austria, you should probably be doing online arbitrage in the US market.
In the US, yeah. Especially if you bought a bunch of stuff and now you know the basics too. You know?
Yeah.
Hey Miles, what's up? What does it mean if there's only one FBM star? Check the sales history and check the sales history on like similar brands too, and see if it's like nice and reseller friendly, for example.
It's like the last 15 minutes I was sitting here, it went from light out to dark. You could
Literally, yeah.
Yeah, it looks way
yeah,
better.
yeah, facts. Let's see. So which lab do you like the best, Garrett? The one from 2 years ago, the one from last year, this current one?
This one. It's way bigger.
Okay. Oh, nice. Okay. Well, the other ones were good too.
Mhm.
The other ones totally were good. I mean, oh yeah, okay. The first one, yeah, those were good cribs though. The first one especially, I really liked. The original one, I really liked. Yeah.
Yeah. You haven't? Have you been to this one? I don't think so.
Not yet. No, I'm
Yeah.
sure that one's gonna be the best one. I bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's in the new, Garrett, is that in the spot that you guys bought?
Mhm.
Nice. Yeah, that's sweet.
Yep. See,
How you liking your new place, by the way? You're what, a month in, 2 months in?
Yeah, I love it. I closed, I guess, just almost exactly a month ago, and it's solid. I mean, I'm still kind of getting set up, but definitely one of the downsides is because it's like a new construction community. There's a lot of still like trucks and construction. Like yesterday, or actually, it was last Thursday. I was sitting here recording a YouTube video. In the middle of the recording, there's like an HVAC like big machine going on like right outside my window. I'm like, oh, so I had to like stop and restart, but. I mean, that's first
Because you custom built everything or like custom like picked it out.
Yeah, it's just it was kind of like options you could choose from. So all of them are done, which is nice, but they're kind of finishing up some landscaping and like laying some wires and stuff like that around the neighborhood. But
It's a good question. Is there anything you guys disagree? You're gonna disagree with with things in every single business model? I mean, FBA specifically, you can talk about Amazon customer support. You can talk about the somewhat ruthless account health management. I mean, there's a ton of stuff, but doesn't mean it's not worth it, right? We deal with all those things because we have access to the most customers in the world, because we have access to all the customers that use Amazon Prime. It makes it well worth it.
And I bet, Garrett, I think he's asking, like, is there anything probably me, you, and Miles disagree on about FBA? I assume that's what he was asking.
Yeah.
Miles and I disagree heavily on the whole prep
the prep centers right away. Which either way, it's for like we're speaking to different people with that too, as well. Like I live for the 19-year-old in his mom's garage pumping FBM.
Right.
You know,
I respect that.
For that. Yeah. Yeah. Up to date, I just ordered shipping template. I just ordered shipping and was off by 2. Well, exactly. So yes, once you've seen 100 orders, then you're going to have a really good sense of it. For example, like that specific one could be one where the delivery date was just a tad off and it wanted you to buy, a more aggressive one. Like for example, William, tell us what shipment service it was. Like, was it Ground Advantage? Was it UPS Ground? Was it USPS Priority? Like fill us in on what specific carrier it was.
How do you find leads for wholesale? Do you focus on opening wholesale accounts first, then finding products, or do you find the product first and then try to open the wholesale account? So that's a really good question. And both ways work. You can find a supplier and then dig through their catalog and look to find products, or you can start with a brand and look for products or suppliers for that specific brand. So personally, I like to find a product or a brand that I want to sell first. And then I either just call that brand directly and ask to open an account directly with that brand, or sometimes I'll just ask the brand, hey, can you put me in touch with one of your distributors? That's the best way to find distributors, is by going to the brand first. So I guess the short answer would be start with a product or start with a brand that you want to sell, and then find a supplier from there.
I mean, because I mean, to elaborate on that more, just as manual sourcing online arbitrage sites without any sort of experience is cumbersome and hard and it takes a while, manual sourcing distribution companies acts in the same way, right? You Google grocery distributor near me, you're going to get 10, 20, 30, 50 distribution companies, but you have no sense of the pricing. You have no sense of what sorts of brands are in those catalogs, prices. And so the unfortunate reality that leads to is you're going to put in an effort to open all those accounts without any sort of insight into what sorts of products they have. Whereas if you reverse source in the scope of and in the span of wholesale by reverse sourcing to products, to brands, and use those brands to back your way into distribution companies, it's going to be way, way, way more efficient and more qualified.
How much? How ads? 0. Yeah, we don't need to worry about ads. Have you ever sold fake products? Nope. Yeah, guys. So on some regating stuff, we don't actually know. Very similar stuff happened to some smaller brands about 2 weeks ago, and a week ago they got taken away. However, this 100% could be permanent. We'll keep you guys updated as we learn, basically. But the key is that everyone else is asking about it too. We're gonna do our best to figure out the situation. Similar stuff happened back in April, and then they took it away. For example, so we just don't specifically know.
How do you maximize a cash and carry wholesaler? Prices were great for retail, but not quite good enough for Amazon. So just like with any supplier, right? If the prices are kind of on the borderline, negotiate. And my favorite question to ask is, so like if there's a product that you see, right, it's right there in front of you because you're in person, and you're like, hey man, I love this product. I want to buy, let's say 100 units or 1,000 units, whatever that number is. Or sorry, to ask it the other way, how many units do I need to buy to get X price, right? Let's say the cash and carry wholesaler has it at $10 and you need it at $9. So take a unit up to the front register and ask the guy, say, hey, how many of these do I need to buy to get these at $9? And he's either going to tell you, oh, well, you've got to buy this many, or he's going to tell you, well, we can't do that price at all. In which case, you know to move on to the next product.
Yep. How would you reverse source? Did you just do that one, Corey? How would you reverse source for wholesale products? This is a fire. Yeah, it's a fire wholesale question, man. Yeah.
Yeah, really good question. So reverse sourcing for wholesale products is the same way you would do it with arbitrage. You just look for brands or products that are already selling well, that have existing FBA competition, where Amazon's not dominating the listing. Those are really the 3 things that I look for. And then I will look for products that meet those 3 criteria, and then look back at my supplier spreadsheet and say, okay, do they have these specific products that I've identified on their spreadsheet? So that way, instead of looking for a needle in a haystack on the spreadsheet, I'm going ahead and finding the diamonds and then looking for the diamonds on the spreadsheet. And if they don't have them on the spreadsheet, then I'll just give my sales rep a quick call and say, hey, I see you guys carry this brand, but you don't have these specific products. Could you get me a quote on these specific products? And they'll do that. Almost every time they'll be able to do that.
I see Amazon doing 100 units. How should I handle that? You'll need 100 units for that specific brand. Do I need a professional plan to create shipping templates? That's a good question. Probably. I don't fully know, but you're going to need a professional plan to do pretty much everything else.
Yeah. Is it true that items bought from retailers are technically classified as used as new on Amazon? No, that's not at all. Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, not in the slightest. Right there, you're chilling. Yeah. Yep. If you don't run ads, how do you get sales? Yeah, so there's this thing called the buy box, basically, that just rotates and puts different sellers in like the queue on Amazon, basically. And it even shows differently for different parts of the country too, as well. Didn't recognize you. Hey, I got you, man. My bad. I got the
damn, I forgot to put mine on. Mine are upstairs right now. I gotta grab them. What's up, Matt? Let's see. Is it true? Yeah, lots of good questions, guys. If you have any more, lots of good wholesale ones today too. Always open to answering those wholesale questions. And Miles has been doing arbitrage forever. So is Garrett. I did arbitrage. That's how I started. I haven't done it since like 2018, but did quite a bit of it. So have some knowledge there as well. So any FBA questions, guys, are fair game. We're here to help for the next probably few minutes or so.
Yep. Is it true that 80% of your revenue comes from 20% of ASINs? Absolutely. Same thing with suppliers, same thing with brands in general.
I mean, same thing with success in life. Anything in life pretty much follows that same process, theorem, whatever.
Teach them boys how to drill, Corey. Yeah, bro. Shout out to Matt.
What up, Matt?
Do I need
Yeah.
those tiny shipping labels for FBM? You do not. Yeah, you do not. Yeah. DDL. I pretty much did OA and RA from the beginning. Yeah. Cool. So we'll do a couple more questions here, y'all.
Do you recommend PPC ads? So, Jesse, if you're reselling products, which is what all of us here are doing, it's probably what you're trying to learn how to do. You're not really going to need to run any PPC at all. However, there's one campaign that is free money. It's going to add 5 to 10% to your sales each month. And it is a specific PPC campaign that you can set up. It takes less than 5 minutes to set up. And like I said, it's going to put an extra 5 to 10% revenue in your pocket every single month. It's so easy to set up. Go to YouTube and search Corey Ganem PPC. So just my name and then the word PPC. It's a really quick guide on how to set it up in like 4 minutes. It's a no-brainer. Please do yourself that favor. In fact, Matt, who's here in the chat, Matt, speak up if you can hear me. He finally set this up like 2 weeks ago. I've been telling him to do it for months, and he finally set it up like 2 weeks ago. And he sends me a screenshot in Discord. He's like, "Dude, like the campaign worked." I'm like, "Yeah, it worked. It's free money. Like set it up. Like what are you waiting on?" So Matt, if you're in there, man, let us know how that went for you. And guys, I mean, please set it up ASAP.
Is it important to have a monthly? I mean, you should have targets for anything in life, right? Whether it's be lifting, whether it's running, whether it's Amazon. The cool thing is if you track it on a monthly basis, that gives you sort of a pulse in terms of your activity, right? Obviously, if you spend, that generally equates to profit. And so if you trend out your spend over the course of a year or a course of months and months and months, it should be increasing. That means your activity is increasing, your business is growing, and your profit's increasing.
Yeah.
But tracking it on a daily basis, that's going to be way too macro, and that's micro, and that's how a lot of OA sellers get burned by trying to force the issue on things that are more cyclical in nature.
If you only have $500, I do use books on Amazon. Yeah. I set up campaign. Let's go. Shout out.
Yeah, for the whole catalog for sure. Good stuff.
Nice. All right. Sounds good. Appreciate everyone tapping in for another Monday. If you want more formal help, take a look. I have a 6-hour free course on YouTube. It's linked in the bio if you're watching on TikTok. Make sure you follow these guys, All Out Amazon and Corey Ganem on all platforms. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Be great. Appreciate you.
See y'all soon.
Have a great one.